that we've ever seen. Extraordinary moments.
Beautiful night for some football.
Joey Logano steps into history.
Scotty Scheffler takes it all.
A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
The Cowboys were eliminated from playoff contention earlier, but apparently nobody's told their fans. They want to be the Grinch, okay? But they're not stealing Christmas. They're trying to steal playoff hopes right now. And they got Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, and all they've done is win 4 straight games, trying to hold off Atlanta in the NFC South. Baker Mayfield right now just trying to pull up his playlist, okay, and get ready for this one. But currently we got 3 games with playoff implications. Let's get you all caught up on what's going on in that 4 o'clock window. We start, Devin, with the Vikings and the Seahawks in a back-and-forth game.
Back and forth is right here. Geno Smith, trip to the red zone, finds Barners, big tight end in the back of the end zone for Seattle to take the lead at home. But Minnesota says, hold on, we're still fighting for that #1 seed. And he finds Justin Jefferson. Oh, what is JJ doing today? Season high, 144 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right, we just hit the 2-minute warning in this game. We'll keep you updated as Justin Jefferson trying to keep dancing. The Bills were down 14-0 in this game. Chris, what's going on now?
Not playing well. It's been a letdown Sunday for the Buffalo Bills coming off that win against the Detroit Lions. But the big fumble recovery here, the lateral to Stevenson. Bills get the touchdown, 24-14. Maria, Josh Allen's right hand is bothering him. It's something to watch out here as we go forward.
We'll keep an eye on it for sure. We're also keeping an eye on the Dolphins. Playoff hopes hanging on by a thread, Jason.
Yeah, it's been back and forth down in South Florida, too. Tua throws a touchdown. Brock Purdy comes right back and finds Saubert in the back of the end zone.
A loss for the Dolphins could eliminate them from playoff contention. What's up, everyone? Welcome into the show. We're not eliminated from anything, okay? No playoff spots were clinched today, but 4 NFC teams were eliminated during that 1 o'clock window. New Orleans, Arizona, San Francisco, and I already mentioned those Cowboys earlier. That was after Washington's win. And Jason, it was maybe the Jaden Daniels show that helped them get that win.
Yeah, what a game in Washington. 5 for 5. Number 5 threw 5 touchdowns in this game. The guy was phenomenal. We've been saying it all year long. He plays like a 10-year vet. They're down 13 in the 4th quarter against a team that's won 10 straight. He throws 3 touchdowns, leads them on a 2-minute drive, throws the game winner to Crowder.
That's what they say. He's a bad man.
Yes, he is.
All the clutch moments, he made the best plays.
Now, we'll be honest, though. This game certainly changed when Jalen Hurts went out. 9:29 left in that 1st quarter with the concussion. Kenny Pickett comes in. That kind of changes the tone of the game, Devin.
Yes, they got off to a good start, and they jumped ahead. But then the game slowed down a little bit. Kenny Pickett was asked to do some things. Saquon Barkley had a chance to make a big catch. A.J. Brown, and then ultimately Devontae Smith drops the ball, gives Washington a chance. Jaden Daniels capitalizes.
They've been playing so well. They've had a little rhythm on offense. Saquon and Jalen Hurts and his receivers outside. Once he went out of the game, they lost that rhythm. Heck of a job by the Commanders coming and taking this ball game at the end.
Sure. Maybe some more bad news, though, for the Eagles. Kenny Pickett had x-rays on his ribs after the game. Mike Florio will have an update on Pickett and Hurts a little bit later in the show. Right now, we're getting an update from Chris Sims for his Week 16 headliners. Chris?
Well, we're going to go to Chicago, and specifically Jared Goff, who played there today, the Detroit Lions. Always been questions about Jared Goff and the elements, the cold air, the wind. Can he throw the ball and be effective? Well, that's done after today. We don't have to worry, even if they have to go on the road in the playoffs. Look at the great play design right here by Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. I don't know. He might be auditioning for the next head coaching job with the Chicago Bears. Certainly was impressive on the offensive side of the ball today. The Lions roll. Goff looked great. How about a little redemption for my man here, right here? Jonathan Taylor basically lost the game for the Colts last week. Well, he won it for them this week. That's what he did. You see it. Go, gadget legs. It was big plays, big runs. They dominated the line of scrimmage, the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor, awesome person, really good player. Good to see him bounce back from struggles and that dropping the ball before he went in the end zone last week.
Why didn't you say drop it like it's hot?
I thought you were going to start.
I know. I was thinking Lil Wayne, but you don't want to see me do that. Okay?
We appreciate you. That's a Christmas gift right there. All right, in Dallas right now, we got Jack Collinsworth and Tony Dungy hanging out. Guys, how does it feel to be in Dallas this evening?
Maria, nobody wants to see Sims dropping like it's hot. To put us on that list as well. And, Coach, we're looking at, with the win today of Atlanta, 2-team race in the South at this point, the Bucs and the Falcons. And the Falcons, they beat the Bucs a couple of times. We were watching Washington come back as well. So it's likely you got to win this division to get into the postseason.
I think you're going to have to, and that's the Bucs mentality. I was at their practice on Thursday, and those guys are not thinking wild card, anything. They've won 4 straight. They want to finish with a 7 7-game win streak going into the playoffs as the division champs.
And, Coach, I'm thinking back to Week 7. Remember when Mike Evans got hurt? Chris Godwin got hurt as well in that exact same game, and you're thinking, man, this is looking bad for the Bucs. They go on a 4-game losing streak, and I hate to make it this simple, but Mike Evans comes back, and they've won 4 in a row, one of the hottest teams in ball right now.
Well, Mike's a big part of it, but while he was gone, they had to find some new playmakers. Jalen McMillan and Bucky Irvin stepped up, and it was huge. Now they're all playing together, and they are explosive.
Yeah. And let's go back in. It sounds like we got something going on with Maria Taylor. Hate to miss any live action, Maria. What do you got?
All right, Chris, we got an update. Less than 2 minutes to play right now in Seattle.
Yep, the Seattle Seahawks down 27-24. It's 4th and 15. They know they can't go for it. They attempt a 60-yard field goal, just short. Vikings got the ball under 2 minutes, trying to run up the clock.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Full highlights coming up. A different type of football night alert for you. Earlier today in the PNC Championship, Charlie Woods, Tiger's son, on a par 3 4th hole, hit his first ever hole-in-one, and he couldn't believe it.
Wow.
His dad was hyped for him. I mean, look at this one. Look at him. He's like, did it happen?
We got to teach him some celebration.
Did we see that?
Celebration.
We do, don't we? Look at that.
Yeah,
oh, my gosh. Tiger went wrong. They did lose, though, I'm just going to say. We do have an update, though. A final in Seattle. Vikings pulling away with the win.
Yep, game's over. Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith throws an interception. DK Metcalf, not a great route. Geno under pressure, don't throw it. Theo Jackson interception, game over. Minnesota 13-2, Maria.
All right, the Vikings controlling their path to the 1 seed. Let's get you caught up with some highlights. The Cardinals taking on the Panthers. Kyler Murray, the Cardinals facing elimination in this game. To the 4th quarter we go. Murray taking it himself.
Cardinals go down early in this game, but they kept fighting. Kyler Murray doing it with his legs. He was fantastic at the end of the game trying to make plays.
By the time we got to this point, Devin, we knew that with a loss, the Cardinals would be eliminated from the playoff contention. Chad Ryland lines up the 58-yard field goal, hits it, it's good, a career long for Ryland.
See you, Chad, we see you.
So we're going to overtime. And they both got the ball. They did not score an opening drive. And what happens next?
They get the ball, and Chuba said, hold on, mama, they can't tackle me. I'm through these guys. Walk off, game over. Chuba Hubbard gets redemption since the loss to Tampa.
Cardinals officially eliminated from playoff contention. All right, yesterday we had the Chiefs taking on the Texans, and there were a couple of injuries that we most certainly want to update, starting with the emotional injury of Tank Dell for the Texans.
Yeah, Maria, he suffered a dislocated kneecap, stayed the night in the hospital in Missouri, returned to Houston today, but they still haven't made a decision on whether or not he's going to have surgery on that injury. And Coach D'Amico Ryans was asked today whether they'll be adding a receiver in advance of the Christmas game on Wednesday. He said it's too early to think about that. They've already lost Stephon Diggs to a torn ACL, and John Mechie missed yesterday's game with a shoulder injury. Chris Jones, the Chiefs defensive tackle, suffered a calf injury yesterday. I'm told it's 50-50 at best for him on Wednesday. They're basically taking it minute by minute, trying to get him ready for the game.
Yeah, that's tough playing on Christmas Day against the Steelers, and most certainly would want to see Chris Jones out there with that Chiefs defense. All right, getting set for Sunday Night Football. The Buccaneers on the road taking on the Cowboys. Looks like Jack and Tony made their way inside on the sideline. We're going to hear from them coming up next.
Takes it to the house, to the promised land.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Hello, people. Welcome back to The Edge with your boy, Micah Parsons. I never intended to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. Mike can lead and go wherever he wants. Hey, when he dropped, who to go, that's exactly where I was bumping that new Drake album.
Here comes Parsons.
He's going to figure out a way for me to be a Cowboy for life. They're going to make the cap work. I don't need 40. I need to be somewhere where I can have a lake house. It could be anywhere. It could be a lake house in Lake Tahoe.
He's good on the mic. And you know that Jerry Jones had a smile on his face when Micah Parsons was mentioning that he's willing to make some concessions to be a Cowboy for life. He had that ankle injury, Coach, and the defense felt a little flat after that. But since he's come back, leads the league in sacks and pressures over that span.
I'll tell you what, he's a difference maker, and they needed him. And they're going to need him tonight because he's the guy that brings pressure and creates things for that Cowboys defense.
And this defense has been a big story this year. They made the transition in defensive coordinators from Dan Quinn Quinn over to Mike Zimmer. What's been your read on that transition as a whole?
Well, what people don't realize, Dan Quinn's system totally different than Mike Zimmer's. Mike bases it on big guys, and he had to get used to this personnel here in Dallas. They had smaller guys, faster guys, speedy, and it was a difficult transition. And then guys started getting hurt. He lost Micah Parsons for a while, but last week we saw what this system can do when everybody's in place and they're humming.
And we know our buddy Rodney Harrison would love to be talking about Mike Zimmer and this Cowboys defense right now. So we'll give him a little shout out at home watching a little under the weather. We'll see you next week, Rod. All you, Maria Taylor.
Yeah, Rodney, you better be watching. There will be a quiz tomorrow. Right now, we have another game going, 2 games still rocking and rolling. Make that 3. We have a 5-point game, though. Miami trying to hang on to their playoff hopes. We will see if they can against the San Francisco 49ers. As always, we will have highlights of all of these games as they wrap up.
Batted in the air and intercepted. Another pick six.
Really rallied behind a young man.
I was excited, and I was ready for the moment.
I think he did that on purpose. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Detroit.
The part that gives where he dives really sells the play.
Into the middle of the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
We never flinch. I love playing for a coach like that.
Rewarding performance. Brought to you by Capital One. Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's, the official grill and bar sponsor of the NFL.
Obviously, the best way to celebrate during the holiday season, right, guys? You jump into the Salvation Army.
Do we have any footage of Jason?
Jason, you never got
like get in there.
You throw a few $100
that was a hell of a night.
That was a hell of a night.
Raise millions for the Salvation Army, too. I love it.
$3 billion funds have been raised through the Red Kettle campaign. Last year alone, helping support more than 27 million people. The Cowboys partnered with the Salvation Army in 1997. What a great cause. What a great celebration. We love it all, especially during the holiday season. All right, let's check in with the AFC wildcard race. The Bengals are just trying to stay alive. Yes, Santa bring this present early. Joe Burrow and the Bengals want to win. Let's start with a ridiculous play as a gift.
Joe Burrow doing all he can. Trips over his guy, but right before he falls, he finds T. Higgins. Look at Joe, how you do that there? Joe, how you do that?
Fine flexibility right there.
How sway, incredible play. It's hard to even analyze something like that. Then Burrow again for the TD.
Nobody happier than Jason Garrett when Yoshibash makes a touchdown grab.
Let's just keep it the Joe Burrow show. Let's find another wide receiver, Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow gets Cleveland to jump offsides, finds his favorite guy, Jamar Chase. Chase is doing it all this season right now.
Yeah, he breaks his own franchise record for receiving yards, just leading the NFL in receiving yards, touchdowns, and receptions. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, 7th straight game with 3+ passing touchdowns. 5th player all-time to accomplish that feat. Ooh, he is having a season, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, those are some names on that list.
Yeah, not bad to be considered one of those. All right, the Titans taking on the Colts. They needed to get a victory in this one. Remember, Jonathan Taylor, a little bit of redemption in this game, Jason.
Next to Jaden Daniels, this is the story of the day for me. We remember against Denver, he fumbles the ball as he crosses the goal line. This guy ran with determination all day long, and watch him all the way through the end zone and through the tunnel. Bringing Bo Jackson back right there. I love it.
Teammates couldn't even take it out of his hands after he ran to the locker room. Okay, let's go back into the second half. Taylor getting loose just again.
Just keep giving him the rocks. Feed him, feed him, feed him one more time, and watch him finish as he goes across the goal line here. Ha!
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Hold on to it. He's over 1,000 rushing yards for the first time since 2021. If you thought that was it, how about a hat trick?
Yeah. 3rd touchdown of the day. He rushed for 218. The Colts rushed for 335 in an NFL game. You got to be kidding me.
Is that kind of good?
We are kidding you, actually. The 49ers taking on the Dolphins. 49ers already eliminated from playoff contention. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, they just want to win to keep their hopes alive. Let's go to the second quarter. Tua looking for Tyreek.
Hey, doing what he does best. Accurate pass, dealing to the weapons right there. Right on point. Touchdown, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, so we head into the 4th quarter. Dolphins leading at 19-10 here.
Yes, 49ers trying to make a comeback. They missed a field goal, play action pass. Eric Soibert, touchdown, 19-17. Feels like 49ers got some momentum here.
Yeah, after a Dolphins field goal, Purdy, San Francisco, they need a touchdown with 2:10 left.
And gets hit as he's throwing. Interception. Miami gets the ball. 49ers got 3 timeouts. Maria, you think, hey, if their defense can get a stop, they can make it happen. But no. Toss right. Devon Achane See you later. I'm really fast like the rest of my team. And the 49ers night-night, and that puts it away. Dolphins still alive, Maria.
All right. So, yes, 29-17, 136 left to play. What does this mean, Steve Kornacki, on the race for the AFC wildcard spot?
Yeah, let's take a look. Well, it started Thursday night when the Chargers got that huge win over the Broncos. The Chargers all but in now in the 6th spot. And the Broncos, you could see sitting there right now, the 7th and final spot. Good position, nearly 90% chance. If the Broncos can just win one of their final 2 games, the whole wild card race is over. The Broncos are in. But if Denver loses against Cincy and then Kansas City week 18 finishes 9-8, it's open to these other teams. You see Miami now about to go 7-8. All of these teams in that scenario would need to win out, would need some help. Take a look at the Bengals. Did you think at the start of December when the Bengals were 4-8 they'd even be on a list like this? What would it take for Cincinnati to actually make the playoffs now? This is the Christmas wish list for Cincinnati Bengals fans coming into this week. They needed Denver to lose to the Chargers. That obviously happened. They needed the Bengals to beat the Browns. As you can see, that happened. What do they need now? Bengals got to win that huge game against Denver next week. Bengals will also need Indy and Miami to each lose a game in their final 2. Bengals would then need to win their final game at Pittsburgh. And then how about this? If all of that happens, the Bengals will be waiting and looking for this one. Denver, Kansas City in Mile High, week 18. They would need Kansas City to beat Denver. Big question there could be, do the Chiefs need that game for the #1 seed? That's the wish list for the Bengals fans, though.
All right, thanks, Steve. It's also Chris's wish list. He's picked the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Do you think they can pull it off?
I just like to get in the playoffs, but they're dangerous if they get in the playoffs. Defense is stinky, but we know the offense with him at quarterback would be dangerous. No one would want to see it.
Denver has to feel good. If you said before the season, win 1 out of your last 2 games, you're in the playoffs. So I think Sean Payton has to be pretty happy right now.
How good is Kornacki? That was incredible. I'm betting on Joe Burrow. Those things are conceived. That can happen right there. All those different scenarios.
Right.
I'm keeping those guys alive.
All right,
All right, we've got an alert in our Patriots-Bills game. And how about the Pats staying alive in this one?
Staying alive. Drake May has played really well, done a lot of good things. Hey, Devin McCourty, you know it. They could have stole this game. They've made mistakes, but touchdown pass here to Hunter Henry. They're down by 3. Not a lot of time left.
Oh, yeah. We got some highlights coming for you. Next up, Matthew Berry. What do you have for us?
I got a DraftKings Sportsbook 3 play for you, Maria. And you know what? I also have some fun facts about Baker Mayfield. He's top 5 in touchdown rate this season. He set new career highs with 32 touchdown passes this year. And last season on Fantasy Football Happy Hour, he told me he owns 2 fantasy football teams, and his quarterback on both is Baker Mayfield. Okay, those are fun facts. Here's a fun opinion. He's going to throw at least 2 touchdown passes tonight to the Bucs and his fantasy teams against the struggling Cowboys secondary that is without Trayvon Diggs. Oh, by the way, Baker has done this in over 60% of his games this year. On the Cowboys side, listen, a lot's gone wrong this year for Dallas, but one thing that's working is their kicker. I'm taking Brandon Aubrey to make at least 2 field goals tonight. He's done this in over 85% of his games this season, including 4 straight. Oh, by the way, entering this week, teams facing Tampa Bay have attempted the 4th most field goals, so I expect Aubrey to get multiple chances tonight. And finally, listen, I think the Bucs win this game. They're 4-0 since coming out of the bye. Baker has this offense playing really well. And we know Dallas' defense is banged up. I just don't believe the Cowboys' offense is explosive enough to keep pace with Tampa Bay. So give me the Buccaneers money line, and that is my DraftKings 3 play for tonight.
All right, and you know who else we love? Always, Mike Evans, nominated again this year for the NFL's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide. It recognizes players who deliver greatness on and off the field. Over the last decade, Evans has been one of the best. He has had 1,000 yards receiving in every season of his career, and he needs 251 yards over the final 3 games to hit that mark for an 11th straight year, which would tie him with Jerry Rice for the longest streak in NFL history. By the way, the Bills did recover that onside kick against the Patriots. We will keep you up to date on that game and have full highlights coming.
All right, here we go, boys. Here we go. That's the way to start. Let's go,
Hey guys, what's going on?
We're here to spice up your holidays.
Mayfield put it right in his bread basket. Sizzle your bacon, ladies and gentlemen.
This is madness. Welcome to the sack party, my friend.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Well, not the season Mike McCarthy had planned, but it is nice to have Cooper Rush and still a chance to get to 9 wins after winning 3 of their last 4. And on the other side, Baker Mayfield has Tampa in the driver's seat for a 4th straight NFC South title. And this week, Todd Bowles caught up with our former Bucs coach and Tony Dungy. Talks some ball.
Todd, I've known you a long time. You go back to Joe Gibbs, 70s, 80s?
80s. Not 70s.
Everybody's here! I think of you as kind of old school, but you're kind of a new age, aggressive guy.
Defensively, you know, but a lot of people don't know. I like to attack offensively, and the more you can keep the defense on their toes, the better you are. So I'm probably the one saying go, 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 pressing the envelope.
Where did that come from a former DB?
Bill Parcells, but Bruce taught me everything from an offensive standpoint, and you can't win this game if you can't score.
First place is on the line. We don't need to say much more.
Baker Mayfield has played outstanding football for you.
Yes, yeah.
Now, this is a play I love. To me, his attitude going after this ball.
He goes after it. He almost came up with it, and you appreciate the fight.
And it seems like the players love this, too.
They love it because he's in a dog fight with them, and when they see him fighting and scratching and clawing, they like to do the same thing.
You got to believe in it. One play at a time, you got to believe in it, man.
This is an early interception.
I remember this play.
A little bit behind on the throw, but the thing I love about it, though, you aren't holding back now, and we're going to go out and still play and still be aggressive.
No, if he makes a mistake, we all understand it. I want him to play fast, and I want him to be physical.
This is classic Baker Mayfield, and again, you got to love this. Nick Bosa is going to come. Most quarterbacks would throw this ball away or go down.
It's 4th down, if I'm not mistaken, and Baker, against one of the best players in the league, he fights, and he makes a play, and he keeps us in the game.
Great call! Great call!
Coach, you can't do enough of those. We got to keep you doing these with the talking ball with the head coaches. But I'm thinking about Todd Bowles. He calls the defense. Everybody thinks of him as a defensive coach, but he has embraced Baker Mayfield as the leader of this team. Something similar to your days with the Colts, I think, Coach.
It is, actually. You have to know where your bread's buttered, know where your good players are, and adapt, and he's done that. I asked him last week. They won the toss and elected to receive.
Yeah.
I said, I've never seen a defensive coach do that. And he said, I want to be aggressive, and I want these guys to play that way. His offensive players love that he believes in them, and they're playing their hearts out for him.
It helps, too, to have offensive players like these 2 running backs. Rashad White has just been living in the end zone. Bucky Irving, he's been the best rookie runner in the entire league, Coach. Both these guys can do it all.
They can. Todd told me that he loves Bucky Irving. He's brought explosiveness to their running game, and Baker Mayfield told me tonight, as much as I like to throw the ball, we've got to run it at these Cowboys, so we're going to see those 2 a lot tonight.
And I'm still thinking about the 40 points, over 500 yards we saw Tampa put up against the Chargers. That's been the best scoring defense in the NFL really all year.
We've had the Chargers. We know how good they are. I think that was a statement game for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, and I think they're going to show that same explosiveness tonight.
See if they have any more statements in their bag. Back into you, Maria.
Thanks, Jack. All right, this highlight hot off the press. The Patriots going to Orchard Park taking on the Bills, and actually, Chris, they were up early in this one.
Playing well. This was here to be stolen today. The Patriots outplayed the Bills for a period of time. Kayshon Boutte, touchdown on the money throw by Drake May. This is Devin McCourty's favorite player in the NFL.
100%.
I'm just letting you know that. But he is making plays with his legs and his arm right now.
He can literally do no wrong in Devin's book. But then James Cook shows up and gets it going on the ground.
That's what's different about this Buffalo Bills team. They can dominate the line of scrimmage, and this guy right here can break big plays in the run game. Offense was pitiful until this point. This got him going.
Yeah, now the Bills are cooking with grease. I know you use olive oil, Crystal, but they're cooking with grease.
Well, and now they got Cook catching it again for a touchdown. Right out the back door and a little pick play there. Great touch on the pass by Josh Allen. Drops it right in there. Big moment right here. 17-14, first down, off his back foot. Not a good throw. Marcus May gets the interception. The game never felt the same from that point. And then we have the lateral to Ramondre Stevenson, who already fumbled earlier in the third quarter. Touchdown Bills, they get it, 24-21, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, but now the Bills are 7-0 at home for the first time since 1991. And let the Michael Penix era begin in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins officially benched 9 months after signing with the Falcons. So, first game for the rookie. Let's start with Drew Lock, and the defense was just helping out Penix.
Everybody came to see Penix, but Jesse Bates said, hold on, I do something better than anybody. Only guy with 4 forced fumbles and 4 interceptions. I see you, Jesse Bates.
Yeah, returned it 55 yards for that touchdown. And then Bijan Robinson's like, I got you, Michael Penix.
Quarterback's best friend, Bijan Robinson. A lot of big runs for Bijan today. Stepped up for the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns for him. And then let's just see the defense go to work one more time.
Drew Lock faced pressure all day. Looks like he has a guy gets tipped up, finds a ball in Matthew Judon's hands. Not the fastest guy because he's in front of everybody. Do your dance, Judon.
Is he riding a horse? I don't know.
Is that an Atlanta special?
It actually is. Thank you very much.
You know about that.
Falcons get the win. Now we're flag surfing. That's right. Win 34-7. Michael Penix, you can see in the playbook, a lot of short throws there, but he had some poise that he most certainly showed. So it's time for the Lowe's home team help. Chris Sims, what did you see out of Penix today?
202 yards. Threw it all around the field. That's what I like to see. And then calm in the pocket to let the big lefty just rip it down the field to some weapons. Not easy. First time getting announced in the tunnel, right? Coming out in his first start. Everybody's in football mode. Right over the middle, laser. Drake London, 3rd down. Hey, 3rd and 6. Another big throw down the middle to Darnell Mooney. We saw him work the whole field. The ball certainly pushed down the field. Out routes, outside the number. He has some powerful arm. Here, a smart throw stopping him before the defender gets there, saves his wide receiver. Really impressed with the look, the arm, the calmness, the maturity of Michael Penix today in Atlanta, Maria.
Yeah, listen, he didn't throw any touchdowns. There was one interception that really popped off of Kyle Pitts' hands if you go back and take a look. But how is this offense different when you see Michael Penix at the quarterback position?
I think one of the main things is he made the right plays. That was the thing they said. Kirk Cousins had 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions in their last few games. Penix came in, yes, the 1 interception, but like you said, more of Pitt's fault. He did the right things in the right time to help this team win and use the defense to gain the points today.
Yeah, I love Penix coming out. His college tape was outstanding. 45 starts in college. So he's a guy who has a lot of experience dropping back in a pro-style game. Simsy hit it. He has this ability when a guy's right in his face just to rip it. And we saw plenty of evidence of that today. His poise in the pocket was so impressive. The best part about this game, though, for me, though, it was a team win. You're not going to lose many games and your defense intercepts 2 touchdowns and runs them back. So it was the shot in the arm that Atlanta needed. A good decision by Raheem.
Yeah, now the Falcons have won 2 straight. They're right behind the Bucs, though, in the NFC South, so they need a loss from the Bucs. They have the Commanders next week. They still have an opportunity to get the 1 seed or win that division. Meanwhile, the Giants, 10 straight losses for the first time in their 100-year history. After that loss to the Falcons. No, not really. That's not the way you want to celebrate in Atlanta. We are getting you set for Sunday Night Football. We still have a long highlight coming up. A huge day for number 5, 5 for 5. Also, we'll get you caught up in what happened with the Vikings. We love their celebrations. Ooh, we got to break them down coming up.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
We're having fun in Jerry World.
I can't really describe it right now.
I remember when I came from the bottom, I wanted to shine.
Lake Travis wins right here at Cowboy Stadium. In the Big 12 championship game in Arlington, Texas. Baker Mayfield just turned to rile up this crowd. This place is going to explode.
And you can unhitch the wagon, put the ponies in the ball. The Oklahoma Sooners are the Big 12 champs. Look at Mayfield. He put this one right to bed.
Baker Mayfield walking tall as he returns to his home state, unbeaten in this stadium, high school state championship, the Big 12 title game, and then another win during his Cleveland days, 3-0 in Jerry's World, and we are on the field, presented by Hyundai. And speaking of unbeaten, Coach, I'm thinking about the Bucs since Mike Evans came back from that hamstring. He's now healthy. They haven't lost a game. He lit up the Chargers last week.
He really did, and he told me at practice on Thursday, coming back from the hamstring injury, he really couldn't cut it loose. But that deep touchdown pass, I think he showed people he can get deep now. He feels like he's going to get more open
And for Dallas, we know that they don't have Dak Prescott. Has not stopped CeeDee Lamb, though. 4th straight 1,000-yard season at this point. How would you game plan against this version of the Cowboys?
Well, the Cowboys use Lamb a lot in different places. He'll even line up in the backfield. The Bucs are really aware of that, and they want to know where he is at all times. Their focus is on CD all night tonight.
Obviously, the biggest conversation in Dallas, huge decision coming up with Mike McCarthy. How would you play this one if you're Jerry Jones?
Well, I'm a Mike McCarthy fan. They were 12-5 3 years in a row, had a ton of injuries this year. I think he does a great job. I was talking to their DB coach, Al Harris, tonight. He said it was deflating knowing that Washington won today and they're not going to be in the playoffs, but they want to win these last 3 to show people that they still believe in Mike McCarthy and they want him back.
Well, you think back to the playoff game, you think at this year, 1-6 on their home field. With the world watching tonight, it is a huge opportunity to finish this season strong. Maria Taylor.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. And the Jets trying to finish the season strong as well, trying to win consecutive games for the first time since week 2 and 3. To the first quarter we go. It was looking good early, Jason.
Yeah, A-Rod had a little juice to him early on in the ball game, getting out in space and finding Devontae Adams. We've seen that before in the back of the end zone. What a catch by 17. Love the celebration.
Yeah, and that was a 99-yard drive. Last time they did that was in 2016. Fourth quarter, we had a tie ball game. But Rodgers is strip sack.
Yeah, got a little colder as the game went on. He wasn't moving quite as well. This is Cameron Curl sacking, knocking it out. Rams recover.
Yeah, you can see Rodgers get up a little bit gingerly. He would go into the medical tent briefly, but would return for the next series after this play. But that was Curl's first sack of the season. And then we're going to go ahead to 3 plays later. Matthew Stafford finding an old buddy.
Yeah, they run the ball well in L.A., and the play action is huge for them. Stafford comes out and finds Higbee. Higbee does the rest.
Yeah, remember he missed the first 14 games recovering from that torn ACL, and then he did a shoulder twerk in the end zone. That was interesting. Vikings taking on the Seahawks. All right, we're all tied up at 7. Darnold's like, I got a guy who knows a guy who can do that.
Yeah, that's right. Like, if he's one-on-one, there's no decision. Just throw it to him.
Double team him. Double team him.
Wait. The taunting gritty is everything. Did you see it? The look back. He did get a penalty for that.
Yes, right.
Okay, Gino's turn.
They're explosive on the offensive side of the ball, Seattle. It was literally 3 big throws down the field, touchdown, boom, we're back into a game here.
Yes, Seattle was trailing 17-14. After that, to the fourth quarter we go. Seahawks still down 3 here.
Yep, driving here, over the middle, Gino, laser beam, A.J. Barner, touchdown. Seattle goes up in the fourth quarter.
That is their first lead of the day. Ensuing drive, the Vikings have an answer.
Hey, Sammy Darnold, he's starting to look clutch. Play action pass, running up in the pocket, big time throw. And this is when you can tell the team likes the quarterback. When you have stuff like that, you know they like him.
Absolutely. 2 minutes left. Seattle with a chance to tie it. They're going for a 60-yard field goal attempt, but the kick is short. Just 2 minutes left to play. All right, so the Seahawks force a 3-and-out, and then another opportunity for Gino.
Get the ball back. Gino's under a little pressure. He's got to throw it a little quick, but why? Don't risk it right there. Interception, game over. Awesome dance by the Vikings.
Yeah, the celebration is a Camp Rock celebration. Apparently, it's a Disney show. I'm too old to understand it. You look at Sam Darnold, right, and Justin Jefferson, a season high for the Jets. Sam Darnold, like Chris said, looking cool, calm, collected, and maybe even clutch. Let's talk about what we see from the Vikings that they had to battle back in this one. It was a back-and-forth game down the stretch.
They just complement each other on both sides of the ball. The offensive side, the defensive side. Yes, they're explosive. They have Justin Jefferson, they have Addison, but there are stretches in the game where they're not very productive on offense, and when that happens, the defense comes up with a big takeaway. Today it was Dallas Turner with an interception, get the offense back going, they stay in games, and then those guys deliver at some point on offense.
Yeah, Minnesota's defense, take the ball away, stop the run, doing a really good job of that. What I love about Sam Darnold, he's not a system quarterback. It's a great environment that Kevin O'Connell has created there, but you're seeing the instincts in Darnold that everybody loved coming out in the draft. He's comfortable. They're having fun in Minnesota. 13-2 right now. They're tied with Detroit. It's an unbelievable story.
Sam Darnold, 16 touchdowns, 2 turnovers in the last 6 games. All right, the Vikings, they're chasing the Lions in the NFC North for that 1 seed. Let's talk about what the Lions were doing. You remember, right, what Dan Campbell said, you get used to eating filet, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing but moldy bread. I love the fans.
Kneecap
bringing
soup
it in.
sounds good.
Get you some kneecap soup. Jared Goff looking good in the cold, though.
Play action pass. There's questions always about Jared Goff in the cold weather. They're gone after today. Bombs away. Jameson Williams touchdown. They were explosive in the pass game.
Can we just talk about wide receiver coach?
Randall L?
Yeah.
He's still gone.
Randall L.
got some juice.
He might have been able to catch that one. I don't know. He might have beat him to the sideline. Later in the quarter, Lions up 20-7. Goff looking for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Never forget about St. Brown. Always finds an end zone. One of the fantasy lovers. People love this guy, and they're doing their dance, too. Dances everywhere.
Okay, we like this trick play, Chris. Tell us why.
Play of the day. The play of the day. Exactly right. The running back acts like he's going to fall. Jared Goff acts like he's going to fall. It takes the defender's eyes in the backfield. Wide open Laporta touchdown.
Okay, we'll talk more about that play a little bit later. We got to get to what we believe might be the highlight of the day. The Eagles would clinch the NFC East with the win against Washington. First quarter we go. Hurts scrambling for 13 yards, but takes a tough hit.
Yeah, Maria, this was the biggest play of the game. A big run by Jalen Hurts, but at the end of it, takes a shot to the side of his helmet, gets up a little wobbly. He had to go out of the game.
Yes, he was ultimately ruled out for a concussion, so that means Kenny Pickett has to come in. His first year in Philly after spending 2 years in Pittsburgh, but he steps right in, throws a touchdown.
Finds A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley did the work. Over 100 yards in the first quarter. Kenny Pickett finishes it off, finding A.J. Brown.
106 yards to be exact, and a couple of touchdowns, including this one.
Yeah, when you're a backup quarterback, the running back is your best friend. Hand the ball to that guy right now, one of the best players in the league. He was untouched on this run, the 10th time this season he's been untouched. It's an unbelievable statistic.
I mean, incredible. Barkley would finish with 150 rushing yards. Like I said, 2 touchdowns, 268 yards from breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. Still eating. That's right. Saquon still eating. Feed him up. Final play of the third quarter, and it was a big one on 4th and 11.
4th and 11, Jaden Daniels drops out. Empty set. What are you going to do? Nobody open. Look at this right here. Okay, they got 3 guys. Woo! Jaden Daniels gets through there. The guy's unbelievable. Whether it's running or throwing, he made so many big plays in this game.
And he actually led his team in rushing today. Then later in the drive, Daniels like, I got a touchdown in me too.
Yeah, you just saw the run. Just throw it to Zacchaeus. Again, moving in the pocket, keeping the eyes up, and they can dance too in Washington.
Okay, later in the 4th, it would not be the last for Zacchaeus.
He said, hold on, Zacchaeus, you did that time. Break some tackles and score this time. Making some people missing the secondary. Washington fans going crazy.
Olamide Zacchaeus had 0 touchdowns entering the game. He had 2 touchdowns today. So Kenny Pickett and the Eagles now trailing on 4th and 7.
Hey, this is a huge play. They're down 1, 6 and change, 4th and 7, going for it in their own territory. Pickett moved to the right, and how about A.J. Brown? You cannot tackle this guy. What a conversion for the Eagles.
Okay, so later in the drive, they will set up Jake Elliott and a 50-yard field goal. He's 0 for 5 on 50-plus yard field goals coming into this one. No announcer jinx here, baby. Right through. So that means that the Eagles are going to take the lead and the Commanders are going to have to try and answer.
And here comes Jaden Daniels coming back. The guy, he makes all the right decisions. He does, but not this time. Intercepted by Blankenship. And Blankenship,
I didn't see that
dances. Everybody's practicing these moves.
Okay, good news now, so the Eagles can ice it here.
Yeah, huge play. They're up 2, just over 2 minutes. The sure-handed Devontae Smith on 3rd down, going to keep the drive alive, and he drops it.
Eagles did kick a field goal. They go up 33-28. All right, so Daniels, Commanders, here's your chance.
1-on-1. Oh, baby. He makes it. Ankles. Come on, Jalen Carter. It's not fair for the big guy to have to tackle him with that much space. Jaden Daniels, another big play.
I mean, that was a scramble for 12 yards. Then Daniels to Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go. He climbs the pocket one more time, and the veteran, Jamison Crowder, wins down the middle of the field, and Jaden's right on his face mask.
5 passing touchdowns for Daniels, and Devin got to speak of the man of the hour, Jamison Crowder, after the game.
Last play of the game, the call comes in the huddle. Did you know you were the go-to guy? Did you know the ball was coming to you?
Well, it's the play, man. We actually ran it on Friday, man, in practice. And really the play is designed to go to the tight end. But Friday, man, in practice, man, it worked out the same way. We got the same coverage, and I called it Friday in practice. And like I said, when I lined up, man, I saw the same coverage I saw in practice the other day. I was like, man, I got a chance of getting rocked. So I just tried to get around that backer as fast as I could, and I looked, and Jaden threw a nice pass, man, threw a dime right there.
I love those type of situations. Those are what it's on thin ice and plays need to be made. That's what you live for if you really love this sport.
Kids at home, that's what you live for, that's what you practice for. It's time for an all-state check-in with Chris Sims. What did you see from Jaden Daniels today?
Well, Captain Clutch right here, Commander Clutch. This Eagles defense, what they've done to quarterbacks of late that are not rookies, they made them look pedestrian. They couldn't get off the field today. 3rd down, touchdown pass. 3rd and 8, boom, bomb touchdown down the sideline, drops it in the bucket to McCorn. Does he ever miss a throw? And then it's 4th and 4, and you can see they got him corralled, and it's impossible to stop him in this situation. It's 3rd down, it's 4th down conversions, and then of course the 4th and 11 run, splitting the defenders, legs, arm, mind, they're all dangerous with Jaden Daniels. He is phenomenal right now. You don't see a lot of rookies like this come around this often. It's pretty special, Maria.
No, and we're enjoying it. That was the all-state check-in. Listen, the Washington Commanders had to outscore the Eagles 22-6 in the 4th quarter to get that victory, but the poise that Jaden Daniels showed was amazing.
I'm absolutely blown away. 2016, we had Dak Prescott. He was a rookie quarterback, pressed into service for us. He played unbelievably well. We won 13 games. I don't know that I've ever seen a rookie quarterback do what this guy is doing with his feet, with his arms, in the big moment, and it's the poise. And they rally around him in the critical crunch time moments of these games, and he comes through time and time again.
And some people talk about the people he's throwing to. Oh, it's only Terry McLaurin or different things like that. How about Zacchaeus? How about Crowder stepping up in the biggest moments of the game? When you take a rep from practice and both guys come to the line of scrimmage, see the same coverage and know, this ball's coming to me. Sure. He didn't even look at Zach Ertz. Ertz was open on the play. He was like, this is the same coverage. I'm going to Crowder, game over.
Philly hasn't lost since September.
I know.
They've won 10 straight. They've been the most dominant team in the league. Not having Jalen Hurts in there, a big factor in this game.
Yeah, that snapped that 10-game win streak right there. They still can win the NFC East, but they need the Commanders to lose, and they need one more victory. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley, we mentioned it, 150 yards rushing today, 2 touchdowns. All right, look at how many yards he needs to break the record. 268. Can he average 134 yards to close out the season?
Absolutely. Let's go, Saquon.
The answer is yes. All right. They might need him a little bit more going forward as we get a PFT update brought to you by Accenture. Mike, what's the latest on the Eagles' top 2 QBs?
Well, Maria, you mentioned that Jalen Hurts suffered that first quarter concussion. After the game, Coach Nick Sirianni declined to address the severity of the injury. The way it works for any NFL player, there's a 5-step process that you have to go through, culminating in both team physician and independent neurologist clearing the player to return to play. The bad news for the Eagles, Kenny Pickett suffered a rib injury in the second half. He had x-rays after the game. He said he should be good to go next weekend, but he will have more tests on Monday. And the only other quarterback in the building is Tanner McKee.
Ooh, all right. So, Steve, what does Philly's loss mean in the race for the 1 seed?
Yeah, big implications there. Philly not stopping Washington late. It all but ends the Eagles' chances of getting that top seed. The Lions, meanwhile, with the easy win today, continuing in the #1 spot. But you know who had a big day as well? The late win for the Vikings over Seattle. Vikings now 13-2, Lions 13-2. Lions for the moment controlling the tiebreaker. But week 18, it's going to be Minnesota at Detroit. Potentially, we could have a scenario where the winner of that game gets home field, gets that #1 seed, gets the bye, and the loser, maybe with 14 wins, would be the 5th seed and would be on the road. That could be a very high-stakes Week 18 game. And again, the Vikings, with that win over Seattle, also huge ramifications for the NFC West. The Seahawks now chasing the Rams. The Rams win today. The Seahawks lose. The Seahawks a game behind the Rams in the NFC West. And you're looking at that and you're saying, well, the Seahawks are only a game behind. They got a game against the Rams Week 18. Why are their chances of winning this division only 13%? It's because even if the Rams lose to the Seahawks in this final game to be in a tie, the tie would be solved by the strength of victory tiebreaker. It's a very complicated one, but the numbers on that are grim for Seattle. Bottom line, the Rams have a chance to clinch this division as early as next week. And there are no fallbacks for either one of these teams. They were both eliminated from wild card contention today. Let's call up where the wild card race stands right now. This is the dividing line. The Commanders in that 7th and final spot. The Packers, all they got to do is win tomorrow. They clinch a spot. You got Washington now. Huge win there to get. They have separation, 2 games over the Falcons. Falcons do play Washington next week. Even with a win, the Falcons would still be a game behind the Commanders. More enticing for Atlanta fans, not the wild card. How about the NFC South? Right? If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Buccaneers lose tonight against Dallas, the Falcons move into control in that division. Could end up with a home playoff game if they then win out.
And by the way, Steve, we got the Commanders and the Falcons on Sunday Night Football next week, so grab your popcorn. All right, let's get to Barry's Bet, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew, what do you have?
I have faith in 5, but just want to shout that out real quickly. But listen, look, you heard me earlier in the parlay. I'm taking the Tampa Bay money line. So that was the easy leg because I think the Buccaneers cover the spread tonight. Since Dak Prescott went down, Cowboys 1-3 at home. Their only win came against the Giants. Each of their 3 losses have been by at least 7 points. This line is on the move a little bit, but Tampa Bay, with something to play for, covers the spread tonight, and that is my Barry's Bet for tonight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers trying to make it 5 straight wins. This time they'll have to do it against the Cowboys. And CeeDee Lamb, already a 1,000-yard receiver, got his headphones on, trying to rock out here tonight at home. And his teammate Micah Parsons caught up with Tony Dungy a little bit earlier.
Micah, your defense was on fire last week. These Bucs have a lot of weapons. What do you need to take away tonight?
Man, we really need to take away the screens, take away Mike Evans, and these running backs. We got to slow down the run game. They're pretty much top 10 in every quarterback category, and especially with Baker, we got to find a way to affect him and get to him.
You're one of the leaders on this team. What has your message been to the guys this week?
Man, don't give up. I mean, obviously, you kind of break the news today, but we still fighting for each other. It's not about, where you at, it's about how you finish and where you want to be next year and what's your character like. Character is everything. It defines a man. So we're not just out here playing for playoffs, man. We're playing out here for our character, for our brotherhood, and how you want to go out,
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight. Looking forward to a great one.
Hey, I appreciate you.
I appreciate that answer. Playing for character. Remember, the Cowboys eliminated from playoff contention. All they can do is play Grinch and steal Christmas and playoff dreams. All right, time for Sunday Fun Day, and no better place to start than the wild, wild finish that was in Washington.
Snap to Daniels. Eagles break 4. Everybody get up. Into the middle of the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! They've done it again! Amazing! Clutch football! Now think about this. James Daniels, the magic man, the come from behind victory.
Now that's a rookie who's acing the test of the first season. Over the last 3 games, check that out. 11 total touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and completing 74% of his passes. Yeah, I like 5. I'll take 5. Yeah. Meanwhile, we also saw Detroit going out to Chicago. Yeah, they're rolling as well.
Oh, the old lion eyes. I don't believe my lion eyes. Well, you know what they call this? The old stumble bum is what they call this in the playbook right there. And Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator for the Lions, I think is auditioning for that head coaching job with the Chicago Bears. But, man, do the Lions look good today, and we love this play.
I thought they were auditioning for Oscars. I was like, the Oscar goes to the Lions.
It's a stumble bum.
Yeah, that's a stumble bum.
But how about the Falcons? Falcons in a pear tree? How about this? Yeah, Michael Penix Jr., he's in there. Jesse Bates said, I'm not worried about the offense. Matthew Judon said, we're going to score on defense. That led the charge for Atlanta big time. Talk about the pick 6. That's what I did.
They're still talking about it.
I caught it. I scored a touchdown.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Taylor's like, I'm not going to drop it like it's hot. That's not what I'm going to do.
Yeah, drop it like it's hot. Yeah, drop it like it's hot. How about Jonathan Taylor right here? The story a couple weeks ago, Denver, he hands the ball to the official before he gets across the goal line. This time, he was holding it all the way through. He's finishing like a young Carl Lewis. What a story for me. He was running with vengeance.
Carefree Cincy. Vibes are good in Cincy right now. Slippery Joe. Look at this. Like, what? He's falling down. He just, throws it over his shoulder. Like, it's like, hey, no problem. Here, kid, have a little candy cane for Christmas. I don't know. But this was the moment of the day.
Wow.
40-yard field goal kick. Everybody in the stadium gets free pizza. I mean, you get a win, you get free picks, you get the gritty.
Good
You
game
drop it like a tie, like Jason Garrett. It's all going good.
Can you hit it again? Can you hit the drop like a tie? We didn't see him on camera. I hate that we didn't see him on camera doing it. All right, the playoff picture still coming into full view right now. Let's start with the AFC. The AFC North is still up for grabs, but Indy, Miami, Cincinnati all won today to stay alive. Kansas City, they need one win or Buffalo to lose to go ahead and clinch that 1 seed. Meanwhile, on the NFC, Detroit and Minnesota control their path because they meet Week 18. The winner, that 1 seed. Tampa Bay, a half-game lead over Atlanta. But remember, the Falcons have that tiebreaker, and the Rams control their path to the NFC West, can clinch with a win and a Seattle Seahawks loss. All right, it's time for the Lowe's home team picks. Let's take a look. America's pick. The Bucks with 76% of America going with the Bucks at 100%.
Our matey, the Buccaneers are here.
Yeah. Woo! All right, Tony. Let's hold it down again. Tell us why we will not end up in somebody's group chat. Oh, you got a special guest, Tony. How's it going?
Yes.
Oh, you're so...
Maria, a lot of Buccaneer fans in the stands tonight, including my son Jordan, who might be the biggest Bucs fan. Baker Mayfield came over and signed an autograph for him before the warm-ups, and he told us the key will be negating Micah Parsons in the pass rush. He said we've got to do that with the running game. So look to see a lot of Rashad White and Bucky Irving tonight, Maria.
All right, thanks. Listen, Jordan being there secures that we're going to get the victory. Now,
We're good now.
Confident in our pick. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. Number 11, Micah Parsons says they are playing for their character. The Bucs playing for the 1 seed in the NFC South. Well, Mike, Chris, and Melissa will have the call on the other side. We will hang out and see you at halftime as the Buccaneers take on the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.